Most people believe that if their blood pressure is high, the only real solution is medication. It sounds reasonable. It's what most people are told. And for many years, that has been the standard approach. But what if I told you that there's something much simpler, something you can do at home that can support your body naturally, especially at night? Because here's what many people don't realize. Your body doesn't stay the same throughout the day. It follows a rhythm. Your heart rate changes, your circulation shifts, and your blood pressure naturally rises and falls depending on what your body is doing. And one of the most important times in this cycle is right before you go to sleep. This is when your body prepares to slow down to repair and to reset for the next day. But for many people, especially after 60, something interrupts this process. Instead of relaxing and stabilizing, the body stays slightly active. The pressure inside your blood vessels doesn't drop the way it should, and over time, that becomes a pattern. You wake up still feeling heavy, your numbers stay higher than expected, and your body never fully resets. Let me tell you about something I've seen again and again. People who are careful about their diet, who try to stay active, who follow all the usual advice but still struggle with blood pressure that doesn't seem to settle. And when we look closer, the issue isn't always something complex. Sometimes it's what they're doing right before bed. A small habit, something that feels harmless, something they've been doing for years. And yet, it quietly affects how their body behaves through the night. Because the way you end your day can be just as important as how you start it. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple drink that can support your body before sleep, not by forcing it, not by overwhelming it, but by working with your body's natural rhythm. And once you understand how this works, you may start to see your nightly routine in a completely different way. Now let's take a closer look at what actually happens inside your body at night, because this is where everything begins to change. And this is also where most people unknowingly overlook something very important. During the day, your body is in an active state. Your heart is working harder. Your muscles are constantly engaged. Your nervous system is responding to movement, stress, and everything happening around you. Your blood pressure naturally stays a bit higher during this time because your body needs it to support activity. But as night approaches, your body is designed to shift into a completely different mode. A slower state, a calmer state, a recovery state. This transition is not random. It is part of your body's natural rhythm. As you prepare for sleep, your heart rate should begin to slow down. Your blood vessels should gently relax, and your blood pressure should gradually decrease. This drop is not just a small change. It is one of the most important processes your body relies on, because it gives your heart a break. It reduces the strain on your arteries, and it allows your system to repair itself. Think of it as a reset that prepares your body for the next day. But here's where things start to go wrong for many people, especially after the age of 60. That natural drop does not happen the way it should. Instead of fully relaxing, the body stays slightly active, not enough to feel obvious, but enough to make a difference over time. The blood vessels remain tighter than they should be. The heart continues to work harder than necessary, and the pressure inside your system does not fully come down. And because all of this happens while you are asleep, most people never realize it. They don't feel it directly. They only notice the effects later, waking up feeling heavy, feeling less refreshed than they expected, or seeing numbers that remain higher than they should be. Now, here is something very important to understand. This is not always caused by something serious. In many cases, it comes from small habits. Habits that feel normal. Habits that feel harmless. Habits that people follow every single day, especially in the hours before bed. Because your body is extremely sensitive during this period. Everything you do sends a signal that tells your body whether to begin shutting down or to stay slightly active. And these signals matter more than most people think. For example, if your body receives calming signals, it begins to relax naturally. Your system slows down. Your breathing becomes more steady. Your circulation adjusts, and your blood pressure follows that pattern. But if your body receives activating signals, even small ones, it delays that process. It keeps your system from fully entering that recovery state. And this is where many people unknowingly create a problem. They continue certain habits right before bed, habits that keep the body engaged. Late eating, constant snacking, certain types of drinks, or anything that stimulates the system. Each of these may seem small on its own, but together they send a clear message to your body. Stay active. Do not shut down yet. And when that message is repeated night after night, your body adapts to it. It stops expecting full rest. It begins to operate in a continuous cycle. Not fully active, but not fully relaxed. And that is where the real issue begins, because your blood pressure depends on that shift. It needs that clear transition from activity to rest. Without it, your system remains under light but constant pressure. Now think about this in a simple way. Imagine trying to sleep in a room where the lights are never fully turned off, not bright enough to keep you awake, but not dark enough to let you fully rest. That is very similar to what your body experiences. It never fully enters that deep recovery mode, and over time, that affects how well it functions. Now, here is something that becomes even more important as you get older. Your body becomes more sensitive to these patterns. Your recovery slows down. Your ability to adjust decreases, and your system depends more on proper timing. This means that small habits have a bigger impact. What may not have affected you years ago can now start to influence how your body feels every day. This is why some people begin to notice changes even though their overall lifestyle has not changed much. They are still doing what they believe is right, but the timing and frequency of those habits are no longer supporting their body the same way. Now, take a moment and think about your own routine. What do you usually do in the last 1 or 2 hours before sleep? Do you give your body a clear signal to slow down, or do you keep it engaged until the very end? Because that difference is more important than it seems. And in many cases, it explains why blood pressure remains elevated even when everything else appears to be under control. In the next part, we're going to look deeper into specific nighttime habits that directly influence this process, and how one simple change can begin to bring your body back into balance in a natural way. Now let's go deeper into the specific habits that quietly affect your blood pressure at night, because this is where the real difference begins to show. Most people focus on what they do during the day. They think about exercise, they think about diet, they think about staying active. But very few people pay attention to what happens in the final hours before sleep. And yet, this is one of the most sensitive windows for your body, because everything you do during this time directly influences how your body behaves through the night. Let's start with one of the most common habits: late evening eating. Many people have their dinner and then continue to eat small things afterward. A light snack, something sweet, or even something they believe is healthy. It feels harmless. But what most people don't realize is that every time you eat, your body becomes active again. Your system shifts into digestion mode, your metabolism increases, your internal processes begin working, and instead of slowing down for sleep, your body stays engaged. Now imagine this happening close to bedtime. Your body is trying to prepare for rest, but at the same time, it is being asked to process food. These two signals conflict with each other, and that delays the natural drop in blood pressure. Now let's look at another habit: what you drink at night. Many people believe that certain drinks are relaxing, and while some may help you feel calm mentally, they can still affect your body in ways you don't notice. Some drinks contain hidden stimulants, others contain sugar, and some simply keep your system active longer than it should be. Even drinks that seem harmless can have an impact if taken at the wrong time. Because again, it's not just about what you consume, it's about when you consume it. Now, here's another important factor: constant small intake. Some people don't eat large meals at night, but they continue to take small things repeatedly. A few sips of something, a small bite, something light. Each time this happens, your body receives a signal: stay active, continue processing. And over time, this pattern prevents your system from ever fully settling. Now let's talk about stress and stimulation. This is something many people overlook. Your body does not only respond to food and drink, it also responds to mental activity. Bright screens, constant thinking, emotional stimulation. All of these keep your nervous system engaged. And when your nervous system stays active, your body does not fully relax. Your heart rate stays slightly elevated. Your blood vessels do not fully loosen, and your blood pressure does not drop the way it should. Now combine all of these habits together: late eating, nighttime drinks, constant small intake, mental stimulation. Each one adds a small layer of activity, and together they create a pattern. A pattern where your body never fully enters a resting state. And this is where the problem builds over time. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gradually. You begin to notice that your sleep does not feel as refreshing. Your energy in the morning is not as strong, and your blood pressure readings remain higher than expected. And because this pattern is repeated every night, it becomes your normal. But it does not have to stay that way. Because once you understand what is happening, you can begin to change it. Now here is the key idea. Your body needs a clear signal to slow down, not mixed signals, not constant interruptions. A clear transition from activity to rest. This is what allows your blood pressure to follow its natural rhythm. And when that rhythm is restored, your body begins to function more efficiently. In the next part, we are going to focus on what you can do instead, and how one simple nighttime adjustment, including the right kind of drink, can help support your body in lowering blood pressure naturally while you sleep. Now that you understand how these nighttime habits affect your body, the next step is to look at what you can actually do differently in a simple and practical way. Because the goal is not to remove everything from your routine. The goal is to guide your body into a state where it can naturally relax, recover, and allow your blood pressure to settle the way it was designed to. Let's start with the most important shift: creating a clear transition before sleep. Your body needs a signal that the day is coming to an end. Not a sudden stop, but a gradual shift. This means giving your system a period where activity begins to decrease, where your body is no longer being stimulated, and can begin to move toward rest. A simple way to do this is by creating a small window of time before bed where you stop all intake. No snacks, no heavy meals, and no repeated interruptions. This gives your body a chance to finish what it is already processing. And once that process is complete, your system begins to slow down naturally. Now here is where the right kind of drink comes in. Not something heavy, not something that stimulates your system, but something that supports relaxation and helps your body move into that recovery state. Warm liquids tend to work best because they are gentle on your system and they do not trigger the same level of activity as heavier intake. A simple warm drink can send a calming signal to your body. It can help your muscles relax, your breathing slow down, and your system begin to settle. This is not about forcing your body to change. It is about supporting what it already wants to do. Now let's talk about timing. The best time for this kind of drink is not right before you lie down. Give your body a little space. Allow enough time for your system to process it without interrupting your sleep. This creates a smoother transition into rest. Now here is another important step. Reduce stimulation in the same period. Lower the brightness of your environment, reduce screen exposure, and avoid anything that keeps your mind highly active. Because your body responds to both physical and mental signals. When both are calm, your system moves more easily into a resting state. Now, as you begin to apply these changes, you may start to notice small differences. Your body may feel more relaxed at night. Your sleep may feel deeper, and your mornings may begin to feel lighter. These changes may not happen all at once, but they build over time. And that is where real improvement comes from. Now let's connect this back to blood pressure. When your body fully enters a relaxed state at night, your blood vessels begin to open more naturally. Your heart does not have to work as hard, and your pressure levels begin to drop the way they are supposed to. This is not something you force. It is something your body does on its own when given the right conditions. And that is the key idea. You are not trying to control your body. You are creating an environment where your body can function correctly. Now take a moment to think about your current routine again. What signals are you giving your body before sleep? Are you helping it slow down, or are you keeping it engaged? Because that difference shapes how your body behaves through the entire night. And once you become aware of that, you can begin to make simple adjustments that have a real impact. In the final part, we are going to bring everything together into a clear and easy routine that you can follow every night, so your body can naturally lower blood pressure and support better overall health without adding complexity to your life. Now, let's bring everything together into something simple and easy to follow. So this becomes a natural part of your routine, rather than something you have to think about every night. Because the truth is, improving your blood pressure at night is not about doing something extreme. It's about creating the right conditions for your body to do what it is already designed to do. You've seen how your body needs a clear transition from activity to rest, how constant stimulation can keep it from fully relaxing, and how small habits before bed can quietly affect your blood pressure over time. Now the goal is to simplify this into a pattern you can follow. Start by looking at the last 1 to 2 hours before you go to sleep. This is your transition window. During this time, begin to reduce activity gradually. Avoid eating late, avoid constant snacking, and avoid anything that keeps your system repeatedly engaged. Give your body a chance to complete its internal processes. Now, within this window, introduce a simple, calming habit. A warm, light drink that does not stimulate your system. Something gentle that supports relaxation rather than triggering more activity. Take it slowly. Allow your body to respond and give it enough time before you actually lie down. This becomes your signal, a signal that tells your body it is time to slow down. Now, combine this with a calmer environment. Reduce bright lights, limit screen time, and allow your mind to settle. Because your body does not separate physical and mental signals, it responds to both. When both are calm, your system can shift more easily into rest mode. Now, here is something important to remember. You are not trying to force your blood pressure down. You are creating the conditions where it naturally begins to lower. Your blood vessels relax, your heart works more efficiently, and your system begins to recover during the night. Over time, this pattern starts to build. You may notice that your sleep feels deeper, your mornings feel lighter, and your overall energy becomes more stable. These are signs that your body is responding, not because of one big change, but because of small, consistent adjustments. Now think about your current routine again. What are you doing in those final hours before bed? Are you giving your body the chance to slow down, or are you keeping it active until the very end? Because that difference is more powerful than most people realize. And once you begin to adjust it, you start to take control in a different way. Not by doing more, but by doing things with more awareness. I've seen this many times. People focusing on complex solutions while the real answer was something simple. Something they were doing every day without realizing its impact. And once they changed that pattern, everything else began to improve. Your body already knows how to regulate itself. It just needs the right environment. Now I want to ask you something. What is the one thing you usually do right before going to bed? Take a moment and think about it honestly, because that habit might be influencing more than you expect. Take care of your body. It has been working for you every single day. Now it's your turn to support it in the right way. And remember, this is general information. Before making any changes, always speak with your doctor because your situation is unique, and that conversation matters.